Please note, most responses are heard upon review and not in real time. Changes in the video's filter visually mark the replies that were the most significant. Those various audio responses have been enhanced, repeated, and sometimes slowed down. As always, we do not offer this video as irrefutable evidence of the paranormal, nor do we claim our annotations are 100% conclusive. All we're asking is that you please approach the data presented here with a curious mind, and that you wear damn headphones. In the southernmost part of Brown County, Indiana, stands one of the county's tallest hills. At the summit of the 928-foot peak, you'll find a pond, the remains of an old homestead, and a mystery of massive stone blocks in various arrangements along the hill's western edge overlooking Salt Creek Middle Fork Valley, each likely weighing hundreds of pounds, with origins that are unclear. Brownie Mountain is home to Indiana's Stonehenge. There has been much speculation about why or how the stones are there. They're massive. They're not native to the area. Were they deposited from a receding glacier? Were they brought by settlers, Native Americans? Was this a sacred site for them? Or maybe something more has happened here. Alongside the questions revolving around their origin, there are many paranormal tales. Much like Steppe Cemetery in the Morgan Monroe State Forest, Brownie Mountain has its share of ghost stories and Bigfoot and UFO sightings. I'm intrigued by the stories of a spirit protector or watcher of this site that has allegedly killed men who have tried to remove the stones. After hearing of this place my whole life, in fall of last year, I made the hike up with my son and a buddy of his. The walk up there is no walk in the park, so if you ever go, be careful. I was blown away by this location. Thankfully, I grabbed a couple small ITC devices and was able to do a few sessions despite the cold wind and a German Shepherd with ADHD. I felt like I was testing the waters to see if this spot might reveal more about its existence. Right, Brownie Mountain EVP session. Who put these rocks up here? What's the name of this mountain? That EVP raised my suspicions about this place being special. But after hearing how the wind was negatively impacting my ability to record, I switched to a small spirit box known as a Pana box as my son walked up. What's the name of this hill?
What are you doing?
Being weird. Who put these rocks up here? Is it Luna June? Where these stones come from? Anybody? Can you explain these rocks? The natives put them up here? Is it natural? Aliens? Glaciers? You tell me your name? A child? Who watches over these stones? Who's the watcher?
move on.
I decided to wander deeper into the stones to try to further communicate. I found it interesting that someone immediately told me that maybe being there was a bad idea and to go away, and instantly said a glacier was responsible for the stones. Were these replies honest or an attempt to discourage my attempt to connect with this site? But before I walked further on the ridge, my son, a superstar anthropology student and budding future archaeologist, started espousing his hypotheses on the stones.
And then as it pushes the hill up, maybe this would have came up on top of it, or it ran over a part, made the limestone, and then pushed it to the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or there was an ancient civilization before the Ice Age, and these were all parts of the foundation of the roads and the houses. Squeeze, 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 push it up.
I like it.
But I don't know. That's the only thing that makes sense to me is either glacier or I was talking to Dusty. And if it is Indians or aliens or Bigfoot, once you see further up the ridge, like I said, it's almost like in a line. So maybe they had a technique where they needed the rocks to move the rocks. Because if this is the main peak, the altar or whatever, where they do blood sacrifices, then it's building up to this point where there's this weird little circle. Then they would have to get the rocks on top of the rocks to move the other rocks eventually to this point. That's why there's so many rocks instead of just this altar.
I always believe a man with a purple fanny pack.
Patagonia.
As I walked along the stones, the size of the majority of them was impressive. Many came to my waist, and if they were ever hoisted, they would stand above my head.
Who piled those rocks there, man?
Is this Egyptian or Mayan?
What?
Is this Egyptian or Mayan?
Aztecian.
Is that close to Kentuckian?
Finding a spot that seemed a tad more shielded from the wind, I turned the Panabox on to continue my ITC experiment.
Rocky Mountain. Okay, here I am amongst all these stones. Nobody really knows how they got up here. Called this Indiana Stonehenge. Do you know anything about that? How did these stones get up here? Was it due to, did man do this? A man? A man? Why did he bring the stones up here? Do you know why? Why did a man bring these up here? Better yet, how did he bring them up here? A reason? No reason? I mean, look at the size of these things. They're massive. And there's tons of them up here. How did he bring them up here? What did you say? Did you say a cart? They say that Sasquatch has been seen up here. Is this a place you can see Sasquatch? How do you bring Sasquatch to you? Is this site sacred to Native Americans? said it was sacred to the Native Americans. Why was it? How do you call Bigfoot? Because I'd like to see him. Any spirits here at Brownie Mountain? Is there a protector of this site? Can anyone tell me where I'm at? Where am I at? Where am I? Where am I? One last view. Can you tell me how to call Sasquatch? Is there any UFOs here? Is there any UFOs here? Is there any UFOs here? Any UFOs sighted here? For sure. Was this site sacred to the Native Americans? Can you tell me what this place is called? Did you say Brownie? Mountain? Can you tell me the name of the man that brought all these stones up here? Is this site sacred for any reason? All right, I'm gonna try to do some. Can you say that again? Go back down the mountain, maybe. I'm ready to. It's cold up here. So can you tell me, is there a watcher, a protector of this land? Who protects it? Can I talk to the guardian? Sure is beautiful up here. All right. I'm gonna try some EVPs real quick. Thank you so much for communicating with me.
I decided to, against my better judgment, fight the wind and try another EVP session. But before I could go much further, Luna June came back with my son not far behind. That brought about the end to my visit atop Brownie Mountain.
All right, so I'm up here on Brownie Mountain, EVP session. This device in my hand you can speak into, and hopefully the wind doesn't contaminate this too much, but really wanted to understand if there's a deeper significance to the mystery of Brownie Mountain. So if there's anyone here that can speak to me, could you please talk into this device in my hand and tell me who you are? And there's Luna June to the rescue.
As I made my descent down the hill, I was mostly unaware of my recorded responses. My line of questioning, coupled with some of the super clear and intelligent replies heard mainly upon review, it would be easy to surmise that men did indeed bring the stones up the hill, and with all the pray or prayer responses, it seems that it could be a sacred location to indigenous people or an ancient culture, and that perhaps God is the protector of the place. Of course, I'm manufacturing this, but coupled with the responses, it's an intriguing avenue to pursue further. And my attempt at asking, possibly too much, about Bigfoot was an effort to see if there was any information to connect Sasquatch to this site. Some of the responses made me wonder if the communication was not connected to the location, but directly linked to an ITC technician, which is a theory amongst ITC practitioners, who was trying to establish contact and peering into my area to assess the site. After all, they did find me per the response of, "I found you." The beauty of Brownie Mountain, alongside the rocks, once referred to as the Devil's Tombstones, is enough to keep me coming back to this location. I'm not claiming to have proven this site to be anything more than an oddity, but if there's a chance that there's more, and if I've begun a dialogue concerning its purpose or potential, it is worth pursuing. Thanks for watching, and please pick up litter that you see in the woods.